Hey guys, Mr. T here, just doing a video on the 2017 General Maths, the real exam, just doing the solutions for that. So once again, doing that in real time. So if I stop, I'm going to keep recording if I need to go to the loo or anything so you can see what it's like doing in real time. I've got no cheat sheet. Hopefully I don't forget anything. This is the second exam I've done in the one sitting, so I'm probably going to be tired by the end of it, but I want to get them all done in the one go to help you out. So let's get started on the 2017 exam. Carbon monoxide emitted by motor vehicles, environmental group, So the concentration of carbon monoxide in the air goes up the more vehicles there are in a stretch of road. The results are in below. Add the data point that corresponds to the last column. The last column is here. So 3.5 and 120. 120. 3.5, so it's the intersection. Add the data point, it's added. State the coefficient of determination. For me to find that, I need to put the data in. So stat, edit, L2 clear, L1 clear. So the X data is 50, 26, 16, 10, 12, 41, 87, 116, 120, 2.4, 0.7, 1.4, 1.2, 1.2, 2.0, 3.1, 3.3, 3.5. So I put the data in, stat, calc. It's for a linear regression, so I need to do a linreg. List 1, list 2 are set. So the coefficient determination r squared is equal to 0.9704 to 4 decimal points. Going to my calculator. Describe the nature and strength of the linear relationship between the variables. You don't get that from r squared, you get that from r, which was 0.9851 to 4 decimal points. So therefore, it is a positive. Linear relationship, because it's a positive number. It is a very strong linear relationship because r is above 0.97. State the equation of the least squares regression line in terms of C and T. So the concentration C is equal to, so from my calculator, A is 0.0205 to 4 decimal points, and B is 1.1102 to 4 decimal points. So AX plus B, 0.0205 T plus 1.1102, all to 4 decimal points. State the value of A, the slope, and interpret this value. Well, I already just said that. A is 0.0205. This indicates that as the traffic density increases, I believe the units were, let me check my printout. Traffic density in VPK by 1 V. 1 vehicle per kilometer, the carbon monoxide concentration increases by 0.0205 parts per million. Using the equation that you found, calculate the carbon monoxide concentration, find C when the density is 250. So C 250 is equal to 0.0205 times by T, which is 250 in this case, plus 1.1102. 0.0205 times 250, 5.125 plus 1.1102 is 6.2352 parts per million when traffic density is 250 VPK. The traffic density T when carbon monoxide concentration is 2.5. So you're told what C is, it's 2.5, and you're trying to work out what the traffic is. So times by T plus 1.1102 minus 1.1102 from both sides. Do the brick method, show you that I'm balancing the equation. 2.5 minus 1.1102, 1.3898 is equal to 0.0205 times T. What's 0.0205 doing to T? It's timesing, so you divide by it, divide both sides by it. Therefore T is equal to 67.7951 to 4 decimal points VPK. At 2.5 parts per million concentration. Which of the two values you calculate in part D should be more reliable? 2 is more reliable, as it is an interpolation with a very strong linear relationship. 1 is less reliable, as it is an extrapolation, so we don't know if the relationship continues beyond the data we have. We have been given. How about that? That's more formal. Alright, that's that page done. So question 2, Ezekiel. With the international names, we've got Ezekiel has decided to set up his own health fund and a savings account instead of taking out private health insurance. He deposits fortnightly payments of $64.50, earns interest rate of 3.45, compounding fortnightly. State one factor. I'm going to do multiple because this is solutions for people. There's multiple possible answers you could say for this. He might not have thought about tax on interest earned. the number that it says is in his account is not really what it really is, because he's going to be taxed. The effect of inflation on the cost. On the health costs, it might be higher than they are now. What else? The point of health insurance is that it just pays you out straight away. So if the only way you're paying for it is slowly saving up for it, what if you needed the insurance straight away? So what if he's hurt? What if he's hurt early on? Question mark. He won't be able to pay for it anyway. Alright, Ezekiel has been told he might need knee surgery in 5 years' time. This type of surgery currently costs 17 grand. Calculate how much he's going to have in the account after 5 years. So, and it's happening fortnightly, so 5 times by 26. 10 times 26 is 260, divided by 2 is 130. The interest rate is 3.45. PV, he hasn't put anything in to start off with. PMT, he's putting $64.50 in the account, so negative 64.50. FV is what we're trying to find out. How much does he have? PY and CY. He's compounding fortnightly, paying fortnightly, so they're both 26. Apps, finance, TVM solver, zero, negative 64.5, 26. FV is 9145.04 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, $91.45.04 in account after 5 years. Ezekiel wants to pay the full cost of surgery for the money in his savings account. In order to do this, calculate how much longer we have to wait for the surgery after the 5 years. There's multiple ways you could do this, but I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to work out how long it's going to take to save up that money that he wants. 3.45, start off with nothing. PMT is equal to negative $64.50. He wants to save up 17 grand. PY and CY are both 26. How long does this take? 17 grand. Solve for N. 226.17 to 2 decimal points. So that's how long it's going to take overall to do his surgery. Take away the 130 fortnights, 96.17 fortnights. How much longer it will take, 96.17 fortnights. It doesn't say to do it in any, can't even spell fortnights right, fortnight. It doesn't say to do it in years, but I'll do it anyway. 96.17 divided by 26. 3.70. Therefore, we'll have to wait another 3.7 years for the surgery. Alright, next. Ezekiel was able to wait 12 years for the surgery. The annual inflation rate over the 12 years averaged 2.8. given it 12 years ago, it's expected to cost 17 grand. How much would it cost now? So the inflation formula, indexed for inflation, equals the original value, which was 17 grand, times by 1, plus the inflation rate of 0.028 per annum for 12 years. So to the power of 12. So you have, to do BEDMAS, 1 plus 0.028 equals that, 1.028 to the power of 12, times that by 17 grand, and you get 23679.16. 2 decimal points cost of surgery. All right. At the age of 65, he's got a total of $97,800 left in the savings account. He's got different arrangements. He puts it into annuity to pay himself an income. Annuity pays compounding weekly. Calculate the weekly income. So he's finding PMT to last 10 years. So it's weekly for 10. So N is going to be 52 weeks in a year for 10 years, 520. The interest rate of this annuity is 5.7%. PV, he has 97 grand left. He puts it in the bank, so 97,800. I want to work out what he withdraws weekly, so solve for that. FV, we presume that he's going to spend it until there's none left. He's going to withdraw weekly, and it's compounding weekly, so both 52. Apps Finance TVM, 52 times 10, 5.7, negative 97,800. Solving for payments, nothing, 52. Not solving for FV. 0. Solving for PMT. Alpha, enter. PMT is positive 246.84 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, can expect $246.84 weekly income. Alright, that's that page done. Next, network question. A company uses tasks to make a product. Times needed in minutes. Company uses critical path analysis to identify the minimum completion. Use the network diagram to fill in the 4 blank cells. So F takes 5. What's its prerequisite? B goes into F, so its prerequisite is B. M is also blank. M takes 8. What are the 2 arrows going into the start of M? F and H. Which task is the only one that must be on the critical path? Well, what you'll see here, 3 possible options, all these branches, etc. But they all come together, and the only way from this node to the end node is through N, so N is the one that's always going to be on the critical path. There's no option for that. N, using the info on the network diagram, explain why task G will not be on the critical path. Well, G's the only reason why something's not going to be in critical path is it's not going to be the longest way. So critical path is the longest path through a network. B and F total 7 mins. G and H total 5 mins. G is not on the longest path to start M. It's not the longest option even on that part of the network, so it's not going to be the longest path through the whole network anyway. Alright, so that's that page. Using the following network diagram, do a forward and backward scan. So go in blue. 0, 1 option, 4, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Multiple options to this one. 4 plus 6 is 10, 7 plus nothing is 7, 4 plus 2, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so 13. 14 is bigger, 14, only one option, 17. 7 and 8. 15 or 17, 19. 19, 23, back the other way. 23, 19, 19 take 2 is 17. I'll do the crit path first. 17 take 3 is 14. 14 take 4 is 10. 10 take nothing. We'll leave that until after. 14 takes 7. 7 only one way. 7 take 2 is 5. 10 take 6 is 4. 5 in a box. 4 take 4 is 0. That's the crit path done. 19 take 8 is 11, but 10 take 0 is 10 through the dummy link. So 11 is going to be here. 10 take 1 is 9. 10 take 5 is 5. 5 take 2 is 3. 9 take 4 is 5. State the crit path and the minimum completion time to make the product. Crit path. Here's A to E to J to K to L to N. Min completion time equals 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4. 10, 14, 17, 19, 23 mins, which is what it says in the final node. With reference to the network diagram, explain the purpose of the dummy link is shown in the dotted line. So, general purpose of a dummy link is used when multiple tasks share some, but not all, the same prerequisites. So now I'm going to give a specific answer for this particular problem. So here, the dummy link is used to show J requires E and F, and H, but M only requires F and H. Just read that off properly. Here, the dummy link is used to show J requires E and F and H. J requires F and H through the dummy link, yep. But M only requires F and H. If the dummy link wasn't there, then M would also require E, which would be wrong. So that's that page. Kurt, a trainee employee, takes an average 4 minutes longer than other employees take to complete any task. Ugh. Why is he working there then? State one of the tasks Kurt could be given that would not increase the minimum completion time. Use figures from the network diagram on page 8 to justify your answer. I haven't written all the answers onto my printed page, so I'm going to have to look at the precedence table instead. We're looking for slack time. So G has slack of 5 mins. H has slack of 5 mins. M has slack of 4 minutes. So because all of these have a longer slack than his slowness, Kurt could be given any of G, H, or M without increasing the minimum completion time. Yeah, that's that page done. Light World. The worst possible name you could give them, whatever. Makes super light bulb, which has a mean working life of 5100, standard deviation 200, normal distribution. They advertise has a working life of 5,000. Calculate the proportion. So you're being asked to find the percentage. You're not given the percentage, so this is a normal CDF question. Normal CDF of at least. So I'm interested in the proportion of everything greater than 5,000. So the upper limit is E99. The mean is 5100. The standard deviation is 200. Normal CDF. So I've got an old calculator, so I can't set the tail. Sorry, that's for inverse normal. That doesn't apply to this. So I'm just putting in normal CDF as it stands. I'm getting delirious now. E99, 5100, 200. 0.6915 to 4 decimal points. Therefore, 69.15% of bulbs have working life of at least 5,000 hours. Calculate the probability that a single randomly selected superlight bulb would have a working life between 4,800. So again, probability, proportion, percentage, normal CDF question again. Between 48, so lower is 4,800, upper is 5,000, mean is 5,100, STDEV is 200. Second vase, normal CDF, 4,800, 5,000, 0.2417 to, not 2, to 4 decimal points. Therefore, 24.17% of bulbs have working life between 4,800 and 5,000 hours. Lightwell guarantees to replace any super light bulb that stops working before a certain number if the company wants to replace no more than 8%. So no more than 8% is important here. At how many hours of life should it set? So you're given the percentage, so it's an inverse normal question. And because it's looking at the lowest life, we're on the left side of the normal distribution, so the tail's on the left, so we don't need to do any weird conversion. It's a straight 8%. As a decimal, 5,100, 200. Second, vase, free inverse normal, 0.08, 5,100, 200, 4818.99 to 2dp. Now, be careful. You don't want to replace any more than 8%. So because this is saying that the limit is 4818.99, if you went and rounded up to 4819, you'd be replacing more than 8%. So you actually want to round down here. So therefore, set guarantee to 4818 working hours to ensure no more than, underline that, no more than 8% are replaced. Okay. Next, they develop an improved light bulb that has a mean working time of 5,300 hours and a tighter standard deviation. How many of these light bulbs? So you have to be careful. It's asking for how many, not the proportion, but we need to find the proportion first using normal CDF. At least 5,000, so the lowest I'm interested in is 5,000. Highest is infinity to the right. 5,300 is the new mean. The new standard deviation is 100. Second, vase. Normal CDF, 5,000. Second comma for E, 99. 5,300, 100. 0.9987 to 4 decimal points. I want to find how many, that's the proportion, so I need to go 0.9987 times by the 122,550 light bulbs made. One, 22390.69 to 2 decimal points. So therefore, this one I can round up, 122391 bulbs will have a working life at least 5,000 hours. Following normal distribution shows the working life of the super bulb. Add a graph to represent the improved light bulb. So the super light bulb, had a height is going to be 0.4 divided by its standard deviation, which was 200, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, 200, 0.4 divided by 200. 0.002. the new height is going to be I knew that. Just want to check that sort of silly things. 0.002. So 0.004 is double that height. And the mean is going to be at 5300. So it's going to be here. How do I do a ruled line? Has to be straight up. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, it's going to be double the height. So if I had a ruler, I'd use that, but I don't. Sorry about that. So it's going to be somewhere like here. That's going to be 0.004. And the standard deviation is 200. So the point of inflection is going to be exactly at the tip of this. It's going to be to the right of that. That's 1 standard deviation. 2, 3 standard deviations away. Not quite. I'm not reading that right. No, the standard deviation is 100. My bad. Go back. 5300, 5400, 5500, 5600, 5300, 5200, 5100, 5000. So the point of inflection isn't going to be on the tip there. It's going to be halfway between. 1 standard deviation away, 3 standard deviations away down here and down here. So concave section. Done. Convex section. Ooh. Convex section. Done. Add a graph to represent the working life distribution. So you can see it's got a tighter distribution, more centered around the mean. Okay, that's that page done. Hossam. Hossam has saved 75.20 towards his goal of traveling. He wants to put this amount into a new savings account and continue saving for the next 2 years. Identified 2 possible accounts. Rate of 3.8, compounding monthly. Flat rate of 4, so simple interest over 2 years. Which account gives the better return? So it's not specifically asking for the effective rate, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first way, in the first account one, it's a compounding account. So you could use the compound interest formula. FV is equal to 75.20 times by 1 plus 0.038 over 12 because it's compounding monthly, and then 12 times by 2 is bed mass. 0.038 divided by 12, add 1 to the power of 24, times that answer by 75.20. That comes to 8112.82 to 2 decimal points that his account's going to grow to at the end of 2 years. Account 2 is a flat rate, so it's simple interest. So SI is equal to PRT 75.20 times by the rate of 0.04 times by 2. $601.60, therefore total equals 75.20 plus 601.60, $8121.60. So you can answer it like that. Therefore, account 2 gives a better return. But I want to give you a different option as well, using effective rates. Because some of you may have jumped on the EFF function of the calculator for account 1. Account 1, you could do it like this. EFF is equal to the 3.8% rate, and it's compounding monthly, so 12. So apps, finance, scroll down to C, EFF, put in 3.8, 12, and that spits out an effective rate of 3.87% to 2 decimal points. Now account 2 is a simple interest rate account. Now there's no exercise in your textbook to convert a simple interest rate or a simple interest account to an effective rate, but if you think about it, it's not too bad, because the effective rate of an investment is just what it's compounding at, what percentage it's compounding at per year if it was compounding once a year. So grows to $8121.60 in 2 years. So now you can chuck that into TVM Solver. 2 years of growth. What is the rate if I started off with negative 7520? Why is it negative? Because I put it into the bank. I didn't make any payments, so PMT is equal to 0. It grows to $8121.60, and it was compounding yearly, which is what the effective rate of an investment is. So apps, finance, TVM Solver, 2, negative 7520, 0, 8121.61. Solve for I is 3.92 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, you can also answer it this way. Account 2 gives a better return because it has a higher effective interest rate of 3.92% per annum versus 3.87% per annum. Right, that's that page done. Hossam again decides not to invest in account 1 or account 2. He changed his mind. Account goes to account 3. It's got an interest rate 4.3%, compounding weekly, depositing $40. Show that he will earn $8.60 in interest after 2 years. TVM Solver, N is going to be 2 years times by weekly, so 52, which is going to be 104. The interest rate is 4.3 PV. He put in 75.20 into the bank, PMT. He's putting $40 in every week. We want to work out what's in the account, so solving for FV. PY and CY are both 52. 2 times 52, 4.3, negative 40. Change those to 52, alpha solve. FV is 1, 2, 5, $37.30 to 2 decimal points. We're showing interest. So remember, an interest in an investment. Interest is equal to the final value, $12,537.30 minus what you started off with, plus all of the payments that you made. So 104 payments of $40. So $12,537.30 minus. So use bed mass, 104 times by 40. $41.60 in payments plus 75.20. It's 11,680. $11,680 of money has been put into the account, but it grew to $12,537.30. So the interest is going to be $12,537.30 minus second answer, $857.30 in interest, approximately equal to $860. In account 3. Calculate the amount that Hossam will pay in tax on the earnings from account 3 if his marginal tax rate is 32.5. Tax is equal to the rate as a decimal, 0.325, times by the amount he's being taxed on, which is $857.30, times 0.325, $278.62 to 2 decimal points in tax. State one assumption, except the interest rate being the same, being made when doing the calculations on parts B1 and B2. Sorry. Assume payments of $40 weekly are maintained. What else? And discuss its possible effect on the results. So I can't leave it at that. If they are not maintained, he will not reach the FV calculated, so will not earn as much interest. Therefore less tax as well, because you get taxed on less. What else? Just give options because I'm giving solutions here anyway. You assume no fees and charges. As they would reduce the money he has. Therefore less tax again. It's another one. You're also assuming the tax is done after 2 years. Assume tax is not paid yearly. If it was, he'd have less money, therefore less interest, therefore less tax in year 2. 3 possible options there. Is that page done? Question 6. Transport company. 4 trucks available to pick up packages from 4 locations. Distances must go. Interpret the meaning of the number 20 in the table above. Truck 4 travels 20 kilometers to the ferry terminal. Just look at the row, just look at the column, that's all you need to do. The company wants to assign trucks to minimize. So you're just doing normal Hungarian algorithm, no extra steps. They've done the first 2 steps. So they want us to just do the lines straight away. What's the highest number of zeros I can hit? I can't hit 3, so I'll try to hit 2. 2. Still hit 2. And yeah, I can only hit 1 more. How do I know the optimal solution has not been reached? The lines I need to draw was only 3. But there are 4 rows. So optimal solution not yet reached. That page done. Using the reduced array in part B1 on the page previous, complete the application of the Hungarian algorithm below. Well, I don't want to give you a headache by going back and forth between pages, so I'm going to draw the matrix here that was given on the previous page. 0, 8, 6, 4, 11, 5, 0, 0, 0, 6, 4, 3, 3, 0, 7, 3. So the lines that I did was vertical, horizontal. I usually do those in blue. Horizontal, horizontal. 3 is the smallest uncovered. So I have to leave the single covered alone. Take, add, leave, take, 0, add, leave. Now we can cover up with lines again, because we got more zeros. The most I can cover is still 2. I can still cover 2 here. Cover 2. Cover 1. So 4 lines, 4 rows. So now I can make my selection. Alone in its row, yes. Alone in its row, no. Alone in its column, yes. Alone in its row, no. Alone in its column, no. So leave it. Alone in its row. Alone in its column, no. Alone in its row, yes. So the only one left to choose is this one here, because it's... You can't do this column 0 because that's already selected, that's definite. The only one left over is this one. Okay, so T1, T2, T3, T4, here's my printout. Can't remember what the things were. Truck 1 does the airport. Truck 2 does the ferry terminal. Truck 3 does the city centre. Truck 4 does the railway station. And the total distance travelled, so that was 11 plus 10 plus 21 plus 13 that's 55. Therefore, total distance travelled is 55 kilometers for all of those trucks. Question 6 continues. A fifth truck has been added. It's been found that major roadworks would add 4 kilometers to the distance truck 1 has to travel to the airport, and 6 kilometers to the distance truck 2 has to the ferry terminal. So it's going to be what does it say in the previous one? 11 plus 4 is 15. 10 plus 6 is 16. Alright, so that's my printout. Now I need to do the answers. Added a fifth truck. This is non-square anymore. It's not a square anymore. Apply the Hungarian algorithm to the array. I want to minimize again, but the problem we have is it's not square anymore. So I need to add a dummy column because there's too many rows. And because there's 0 in every row, we're not going to do anything for the first step. So that's nice. But now we're going to subtract the columns. So 15 minus 15 is the smallest number. Minus 13 is the smallest number. 16 is the smallest number. 13 is the smallest number. Draw the matrix here. 15, take 15, 0, 21, 6, 0, 1, 2, take 13, 6, 2, 8, double checking, 0, 1, 1, 0, 3, 4, 0, 5, 0, 8, 6, 3, and minusing 0 from that column, so nothing. 5. We've done the rows and columns, so the most zeros I can hit is 5. The next I can hit is 3. The next I can hit is 2. The next I can hit is another 2. The last I can hit is another 2. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So I can select my zeros. Alone in its row, alone in its column, no. Alone in its row, alone in its column, no. Alone in its row, alone in its column, no. Alone in its row, alone in its column, yes. No. Alone in its row, alone in its column, no. No. Alone in its column, yes. Alone in its row, alone in its column, no. Alone in its row, alone in its column. So right now we have a few to choose from. So you have to do process of elimination. The only rows that this column can do is along here and along here, but this row has been chosen already. So through process of elimination, this one gets chosen. And then here you've got this column can do either of these. And then these zeros, they're equally possible. So you should double check, when you're in this situation, you should double check the original matrix, and what you'll notice is 15 and 15, they're the same. So this is going to be in a multiple optimal solution situation. So it can either be this or this one for the last choice. So apply the Hungarian algorithm. So, yep, where are my solutions in red? So, track 1, 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, arrows. Track 1 is the airport, but also, or track 3. Track 2 is definitely doing the city centre. Track 3, there's a better way of writing that. Why did I do that? Track 3 can also do the airport. You got more trucks than location, so that's why this answer makes sense. Track 4 can do the railway station. Track 5 can do the ferry terminal. Interpret your results in part C2. Well, I technically did that already. Let's do it again. Either truck 1 or truck 3 can go to the airport. Truck 2 goes to the city centre. Truck 3 goes... I already said truck 3. Truck 4 goes to the railway station. Truck 5 goes to the ferry terminal for a total distance of 15 plus 13 plus 13, truck 5, ferry terminal, 16. $57 kilometers. Why didn't I add another number here? Because only one of the trucks out of 1 and 3 is going to go to the airport. So you're only going to have the one truck doing that. 4 trips, basically. Okay, that's that page done. Anya makes scented candles. That sounds about right. The task A, decaying the prerequisites are shown in the table below, using the info drawn label, using A to K a network diagram. It's only asking me to do a network diagram, no scan, so I'm just going to draw it with dots. Start here. A has no prerequisites, so A is going to come out of that. B requires A. C requires nothing. D requires C. E requires B. F requires E and D. E and D are not connected right now, but now they will be. F requires E and D. G requires F. H also requires F. I requires F2. J requires H and I. They're not connected right now, but I can make them. J requires H and I, yep. K requires G and J, not connected right now, but I can fix that. K requires G and J, K is not a prerequisite, so the end should be there. Just go backwards and double check. K requires G and J. J requires H and I requires F. H requires F. G requires F. F requires E and D. E requires B. D requires C. C requires nothing. B requires A. A requires nothing. There's the network diagram done. Oh, really? That was it? Okay. Question 8. Shark species. They did a linear and exponential model. Why is an exponential model more appropriate to use? Well, I'm going to go straight for the R squared exponential. More appropriate because R squared is 0.951, much closer to 1 than the 0.843 of the linear model. Residuals of exponential model are mostly smaller as well. So you can see here it gets 1 that's close to 20, and then 1 looks like an outlier there. You've got one that's almost closer to 20, another one that's close to 20. This is well above 10. Yeah, there's just larger residuals. Assuming this is an outlier, which you see there, also you can see that there's sort of a curve pattern to it as well. So assuming an outlier, there seems to be a curve shape to the linear residual plot too. Multiple reasons. It's only 2 marks, so I'd just expect the first 2. Identify a possible... okay, there is an outlier in the data. Identify a possible outlier in the data. So that dot there represents... I'll use my printer, C. So if you look at the data, there's one that sticks out because it jumps much higher without the length getting much longer as well. You've got the 186 and 141. 186 comma 141 appears to be an outlier. I'd probably say this on the exam as well, circled on previous page. Just to be sure, the outlier identified was found to be a recording error, so they're confirming it was an outlier. Remove the outlier, write the new exponential regression equation, recalculate its coefficient of determination. So you have to remove, you're going to use my printout here. I'm going to cross out the 186, 141. I'm going to put my data in stat, edit, clear L2, clear L1, 111, 118, 129, 151, 162, 172, 185, 190, 201, 15, 22, 25, 44, 69, 63, 83, 99, 122. I've put the data in. I'm trying to find the new exponential regression equation. So stat, calc, scroll down to 0, exp reg. Recalculate its coefficient determination. R squared is 0.9755 to 4 decimal points. And the exponential regression equation is W is equal to 1.4799 times by 1.0224 to the power of L, because it's with, I think it's weight. Is it weight and length? Yeah, average weight and length. And I rounded those to 4 decimal points. A shark has been caught in the Great Australian Bight. They think it's a new species. The length is 143. Predict the average rate for that length. So W for a length of 143 is equal to 1.4799 times by 1.0224 to the power of 143. Use BEDMAS, 1.0224 to the power of 143, times that by 1.4799, 224 to the power of 143, times that by 1.4799, 35.16 to 2 decimal points, kilograms predicted for a 143 centimeter shark. State why making the prediction may not be reasonable. Well, they said it's possibly a new species, so not reasonable, as they said it may be a new species, so may not follow the trend of length and weight of the existing species. It's like they say about don't make assumptions, don't assume that this new species is going to follow the trend. That's that question done. Getting a bit tired now. Pia needs to borrow 80 grand. She's aiming to repay the loan in 7 years. Interest rate of 6.25, compounded monthly, no fees. Interest rate is 6.15, compounded monthly, $200 setup fee, $7 monthly fee. Find the comparison rate for option B. You don't need to find the comparison rate for option A because It has no fees, so that is the comparison rate. So N, it's 7 years times by 12. I, it's got an interest rate of 6.15. PV. It should be 80 grand. But there's a setup fee of 200, so it's going to be 80,200. And the purpose of this TVM solver is to work out what the payments are for a loan of 80,200. FV is equal to 0 at the end of the loan. PY and CY are both 12. Apps Finance TVM 84, 6.15. 80,200, positive because it's a loan, nothing owed at the end of the loan, 12. Solve for PMT, negative $1177.38 to 2 decimal points. But now, what is the comparison rate? It's for 84 months. What is the comparison rate considering the fact that I'm making payments for a loan of $80,200, but it's actually a loan of 80 grand. But the payments are also increased by $7. So negative 1177.38 minus 7 negative 1184.38. FV is going to be 0. PY and CY are both 12. Solve for I. 6.33. That's not right. I didn't change PV. Change PV to 80 grand. Now solve for I. 6.41 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, option B has 6.41% per annum comparison rate. Option something is the loan represents the better value because, well, if it's a loan, you want the lowest rate. So option A is the loan that represents the better value because the nominal rate of 6.25% per annum is the comparison rate, as there are no fees, charges, and is lower than the option B comparison rate. Only the bank that offers option A has approved, so she's going with option A. She borrows 80 grand at 6.25% per annum. Compounded monthly for 7 years. Show that her minimum monthly payments are that. So solving for PMT, N is going to be 84. I is going to be 6.25. PV, she borrows 80 grand. Solving for PMT, owe nothing at the end of the loan, FV is equal to 0. PY and CY are both 12. 6.25, 80 grand. Alpha solve, negative 1178.30 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, monthly repayments are $1178.30, which is approximately equal to $1180 per month. Is that page done? Show that P is outstanding debt 3 months after taking out the loan will be 77,700. So we're working out what FV is after three months. So N is going to be 3, 6.25. My loan was 80 grand. I was making payments of negative $1178.30. No, P was, sorry. FV is the outstanding debt. PY and CY are both 12. 3. Negative $1178.30. Alpha solve. Negative 77703.18 to 2 dp. Therefore, outstanding debt is $77,703.18, approximately equal to 77,700 after 3 months. At this time, Pia sells her furniture for $4 grand. She deposits an offset account. So we need to work out how long it's going to take to repay the loan now that she's got $4 grand in an offset account. So we're working out N. The interest rate stays the same. She still owes $77,703.18, but she's offsetting it with $4 grand in the offset account. So it's going to be 73,703.18. She's making the same repayments. She wants to owe nothing. PY and CY are both 12. Nothing. 77,703.18 minus 4 grand. Just to double check, 73,703.18, 6.25. Solving for N. N is going to be 75.88 to 2 decimal points. It just says how long, therefore 75.88 months, or just to cover my back, 75.88 divided by 12, or 6.32 years. That's to 2 decimal points to repay the loan. With the offset, calculate approximately how much interest will be saved using the offset account. I don't like doing approximates. I like doing the exact. So let's do the exact. I default is equal to, she's going to make 84 payments. So this is just paying off the loan as normal of $1178.30. Minus the 80 grand loan. 84 times 1178.3 minus 80 grand. She pays $18,977.20 interest by default. Now, put a line under that so I don't get confused. 3 months. So the first 3 months, 3 times $1178.30 minus 80 grand minus 77,703.18. So this is the interest before the offset. is $1,238.08 interest. In the first 3 months, interest after offset. So you made 75.88 payments of $1178.30 take away. After the offset, it was 73703.18, and you got the loan down to zero. 75.88 times by 1178.3 minus 73703.18 minus 0, nothing. 15706.22 interest. Make sure I cover my back with rounding indication. So the interest total with the offset 1238.08 plus 15706.22. 15706.22 plus 1238.08. $1,6944.30. So therefore interest saved by doing the offset is going to be $1,6944.30. No, you're saving interest by having the offset, so default, which is $1,897.20 minus $1,6944.30. 18977.2 minus, the answer is $2032.90. Interest saved using offset account. State one assumption made that might affect the amount of interest saved by using the offset account. Well, I'll give a few options here. Offset is kept in for the remainder of the loan, so you don't take it out. What else is there? Interest rates are fixed. What else is there? Maintain repayments, all the generic ones. You have to assume all those for this maths to work. Right, that's that page done. So I believe that's the end of the real 2017 exam. Hopefully that helps you out, and I'll see you in the next video. Last page, I don't need to write here. References. And I don't need your